I told Cammie I'd record the meeting. And all we went through until I remembered to hit the record button, Cammie, is just to check with everybody about the schedule and to say that I'm going camping from Sunday till Wednesday. And I don't know what the connectivity down there is. I'm expecting that I can at least get email over cellular. I'm not expecting Wi-Fi or anything, but I've participated in Zoom meetings from a campground before, so I'll be available for something, I'm sure. And so I won't be back until the 23rd. I'm getting confused here. Okay, so if I'm back on no, I'm leaving the 23rd. I won't be back until the 26th. And so I guess if there's not much point in having stuff done before the 26th, is there? Because I won't look at it. I'm not going to be doing editing down there, but it is important to have it really tightened up and ready by then. That's the best way that it's going to work for me. So let's just make the due date the 26th. Does that work for everybody? I mean, if it's earlier, that's fine, but I won't be looking at it until the 26th. Okay, so tightening up. That's not it. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up some documents here. Okay. All right. I don't think I can have two screens open at the same time, but we'll start with this one. Okay, so Skyline Memorial, each one of these listings says Skyline Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, da, 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 da. What I did, this is the original Google Doc. And so now we'll stop sharing and share screen. So what I did was all events are outside and socially distanced and will take place at Skyline Memorial Garden. I mean, it seems trivial, but it's work that I have to do if you guys don't. That's the point, isn't it? So you just pair it, you figure out if there's something that can be said about the entire listing and put that at the top. And I've seen this in library stuff and gallery stuff, and it's a bit of a judgment call, but that's why I've got you guys, because you have good judgment. So anywhere you can do that and not repeat the same thing over and over in each listing, I'm sure that our readers are smart enough to figure this out. And as you've seen, if you look at the difference between what you guys work on and what actually makes it into the print edition, you can see why we try to compress everything. Oh, I'll go back to, you can't see all my great hand gestures. So that's why we try to compress things as much as possible and not be repetitive, to say nothing of the fact that it's boring. Just to read the same thing over and over again. So, and it's also, if you have time, I know, you're probably like me, once you finish working on something, you're done with it. But if you can take a quick look at how the print edition looks compared to what you submitted sometimes, I mean, you don't have to do it every single time, but just to get a feel for the changes that I make after I get the raw material. Vicki, I had to make some changes on your farmers market article because since Leilani didn't, I don't know what the deal was, but you guys kind of lost touch with each other. And after she read the article, she had a bunch of corrections to make. And I was under a time crunch, so I just did them. But it was a hard article to work on, I know, because you're not familiar with all that long history, and you did a fabulous job. But it, I think you had connection with Leilani in the beginning, and then did she just stop responding or something?
Well, after that, it was like mainly like connections. I think we're like not like Dina, but like I think Karen and with like the other people. So we had like that huge email thing in which I would like send it to them and they would like look at it. So this year was fine, but I think maybe Leilani had like a different recollection of it. But I don't think she like responded to that email.
Yeah, and I think she actually told me that she doesn't look at her email all that often, and then she kind of pointed the finger at us for not being responsive. Oh well, what can you do? You know, we just do the best we can with this stuff. I had one article, I did a business article on the bar down the Bleachers pub, and I made some mistake about some racing car or something, and the guy just called me and screamed at me and just reamed me out for making this little error. And I think he was going to advertise, and then he decided not to advertise. So what are you going to do? We all just do the best we can. And with, you know, with a monthly publication, it's ephemeral. If you don't know that word, it's a good word. You know, I go and back and look up stuff from my old issues, but I can't imagine that many other people do. So we just kind of suck it up and make the corrections that we need to, and then move on. So let's see, we can go. I'm going to go back to my agenda and see if we've got everything. Oh, Google Docs commenting. I would say use it liberally, because if you've got a question about something, one of the other editors may be able to help. And since I'm not going to be on top of everything this month, I even forget to look at those. So go ahead and comment liberally, and all of you guys try and keep an eye on that. I don't get email notices when comments are made anymore. I think I used to. I don't know why, but do you?
Sometimes I think Google Docs should probably change like their settings on it. So maybe if you look at settings, then that could be fixed.
I'm sorry?
I think Google Docs kind of changed like the settings and how comments are seen, because I get them sometimes and I don't get them other times. So
I know, it's weird. Maybe we should look into that, because if we all got them, it might be helpful, but then again, it might be annoying. I don't know. I'm having a lot of trouble with my hearing aids just now, because this is going to sound really weird, but I'm getting treatment for a chronic sinus infection that I think has been in my head for a long time. And it seems to be changing the shape of my ear. And so the mold that goes into my ear for my hearing aid doesn't fit right. And so I'm getting all this, I don't know if you can hear all the squeaking, but it's remarkably annoying. And I'm hoping I can get it figured out before too long. I mean, I appreciate getting rid of the sinus infection, but I don't know when it's going to stop, and I don't know when to go and get new ear molds made. Anyway, but I'm having trouble hearing some stuff. So I was just going to briefly mention my process after I find out that everything is final. And I really appreciate Vicki making that last pass, because she catches quite a bit. I download the file and then I bring it into Word, because I can't really do what I do in Google Docs. And then I go through it and I read everything to check and make sure that it follows our style sheet, and that you know, that everything's right. And the less time I have to spend doing that, the happier I am. So that's the reason for going back. you know, finish your assignment and then go back over it again. Maybe take another look at the style sheet and go back over it again if you can spare the time. And especially for this month, since I'm not going to have a lot of time to work on it. I think that's all I have to say. Does anybody have any concerns or questions? Beatrice, I know that Genevieve was concerned a long time ago about having you edit because she had emailed you and didn't get a response right away. And I know that kids in general don't use email as much as us old folks do, but with the way the paper works, we need that email trail. So maybe around the time that the paper's going out, you can be extra vigilant and checking your emails, Beatrice?
Oh yeah. I got the emails like up until June last year, and then for some reason I just never got them. I don't know if that was my fault or my email, because I just used my school email. But yeah, I check my email a few times a day, so I'll be sure to check it even more this time. And I think that's the best way to reach me. And if you can just say edit this part, and then I'll be sure to do that.
Great. Okay. So I think I will start putting stuff up as soon as I can. I think I have like 4 or 5 things. I'm looking my inbox right now. I have 237 messages in there, and I go through in the morning and get rid of all the stuff I really don't want to look at, and I leave that in there, and then I go back through and figure out what I have to respond to and what I have to do stuff about. And I'm about 4 or 5 days behind with that. But I will go through and send everything that I have for the June issue to Genevieve now. And if it's up to you, if you want to just wait until before the due date, or you want to start putting it up into the folders yet. But check with everybody, you know, keep everybody in the loop. I think that's the best way, and keep me in the loop too. Even if I don't respond, I'm glad to review it and make sure everything's happening. How's that sound?
Just ahead of time, I can already tell you guys that I probably won't be able to get anything up until Thursday or Friday of this week. I have 3 midterms, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so I won't be doing anything those days. Right.
Well, I'll just send it and it'll be there, and you can do with it as you like. If I'm able to get emails while I'm gone, I'll certainly forward everything I get as well, because, you know, we have some people who straggle in, and depending on how well I like them, it depends on whether I tell them they can still get in. But for the most part, I'm sort of indulgent. Okay, so any other questions or concerns?
Not really like a question or concern, but more of like a comment. For the CPO summary, I'll get that to you probably by this evening. I'm done with it. I just need to like, cut it down.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you speak more slowly? Because I'm just having a horrible time.
Yeah. So the CPO 1 summary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm done with that, and I'll get it to you by this evening because I just need to cut it down for the news.
Great. I really appreciate that. She was elected as the secretary of CPO 1. So she does a report for the paper, and then she does a longer version for the CPO minutes. And she made it into Stanford. Okay, Beatrice, where are you in school now? Are you a senior?
I'm a junior at Beaverton High School.
Ah, good. Then we've got you for another year at least.
Yeah.
And Genevieve and Cammie are sticking with us, even though they're freshmen in college. Wonderful. Okay. I think that's it. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad we could pull this off.
Yeah, have a great camping trip. Don't get eaten by any bears.
No, we just got some bug repellent for my dog so she doesn't come home with ticks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're going to Tumalo, which is west of Bend. It's a gorgeous little campground. And then I think we're going to take a day and go over to a lake so that my husband can fish. It'll be nice. All right.
Wonderful.
It was the reason I picked those dates was because it was all that was available. It's really hard to get camping reservations at the, the way everything is going. So I wouldn't have taken that time by choice, but I knew I could count on you guys to come through. All right. See you later.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.